what up? It's the I Be Ballin' with another I Be Ballin' basketball show. Today we're gonna review Space Jam. The classic slam dunk movie that, I'm a 90s baby and, I grew up on it, And we're gonna talk about, favorite Looney Tunes, favorite aliens, favorite scenes. We're going to talk about NJ. And we're also going to talk about the second Space Jam later on. Later on, we're going to do a second review and, compare and contrast. But before I start, I want to introduce my special guest, Cool Cuzzo Will. What up?
Yeah,
Tell them about your channel and where they can find you on social media.
yeah, Road to William. I do movie reviews, interviews with people I've come up with, um, and finding people, just doing what I do on YouTube, building a community. So check out those interviews as well. More to come. And then to find me, I just be on mainly TikTok and Instagram is what I be on lately to post um, events that's happening across the U.S. So always tune in and see what I'm posting because it's probably for an event and you can go support them, any fundraisers or anything they might have, or there's a lot of different things. So go check out the bulletin board over there, and yeah, stay tuned.
Cool, cool. Road to William. Go explore and venture off and go into the unknown and the wilderness and the roads and the expressways and highways and byways and explore and learn and grow and laugh and be entertained. Oh yeah. If you could think of a phrase or one word to describe this movie, what would it be?
First thing came to mind was like family, um, funny, and also together. Together is really the word because what I took from it is that like well, I can say that for the end, but really those three things: family, funny, and togetherness. Being together, building community. So yeah, that's what I take from that.
Okay. Family and togetherness. Okay, okay. Because that's, everybody has their little families, in the reality world and the Looney Tune world and at Moron Mountain. Space Jam was really, really big, really, really huge. Because, I mean, Michael Jordan at the time in the 90s was, he was the biggest, some people call him the GOAT, the biggest attraction in the NBA. And then you put the Looney Tunes together and then boom, And I like the way they mix both of the worlds. So basically, oh, Danny DeVito, I believe his name is. He plays a lot of different, roles and characters. I liked him when he was in Matilda. I liked it when he was in Matilda. But anyway, he's in charge of the Nerd Lux and basically Mara Mountain, which I just found out. I just found out, right, that Moron Mountain is a dig at Disney, right? Because it's almost like Warner Brothers and Disney, and like they try to compete with each other, but Disney is the one that's, you know, they are more successful at the cartoons and animation movies. And so Moron Mountain, because at Disney World, been at Disney World or Disneyland, but apparently they have um, Space Mountain, right? I think they don't they have Splash Mountain? Isn't Splash Mountain a ride? I think so. But anyway, why? So before I begin, I'm gonna show you, tell you a little bit of digs I just learned. So that was one dig about Space Mountain at Disney World, right? But there's a scene where Daffy Duck is talking about a hockey professional team, and he says, the Ducks. What kind of Mickey Mouse organization would name their team the Ducks, right? And that's a dig at Disney because they have the Mighty Ducks, right? And as a kid, you don't really think of that stuff, but they put some small digs in there for you. Another one I can't find anymore. But those were some digs. I was like, because if you notice, Warner Brothers, they don't have the formula either. You know, of course they made a new Space Jam, but what else have they done as far as killing it at the box office for cartoon movies? You know, they don't they no one has really figured out the formula besides Disney. That's terrible. But basically, Moron Mountain, kids are tired of Moron Mountain, right? So DeVito's character, he's he wants his aliens to get Michael Jordan, right? And actually, no, they want to get Bugs Bunny. Bugs Bunny doesn't want to go. They're all laughing at him, right? They're like, ha ha, ha, because the aliens are like, we're gonna do this to you, right? And
Yeah.
they're all laughing at him like, oh, we're in trouble now, right? So Bugs Bunny comes up with a solution about, you know, we'll challenge you to a basketball game. But in a way, the aliens are cheating because then they steal NBA players' talent, right? And they get all big and strong and they become the monsters, right? And Bugs Bunny is like, oh, we're in trouble because they thought, oh, they're just little aliens. We can beat them, blah, blah, blah. Right. So then they recruit Michael Jordan to help them out. And that's the basis of it. And I don't know what it is, but it's almost like nostalgia. That's my word, nostalgia, because nostalgia, it brings back memories. It's like a throwback. It's kind of like maybe you're in a bad mood and you watch something from your childhood and it just brings lovely memories. And it's one of those movies where you just sit back and relax. You're laughing. You grew up with Michael Jordan and you grew up with Looney Tunes. It's something for, kids and, adults. So I say nostalgia because I don't even really watch the Looney Tunes anymore. They actually came out with a new movie this this year, and it's in theaters. I haven't watched it yet, but I don't really watch. I watched it as a kid, of course, Cartoon Network and stuff. But I don't really watch them like that now. But nostalgia because when I had PlayStation, I don't know what it was. It could have been PlayStation One. I don't know, but they had a Space Jam video game. And I remember playing that game, and you could, play different Looney Tunes and play as Michael Jordan, and it had the Monstars in there. But it also brings back memories because it's like music. Come on and slam. It gives you in the mood, like got a real thing going on. Welcome to the Space Jam. And then you're seeing all the basketball highlights and, more nostalgia also because the boy that played little Michael Jordan in the beginning was from Soul Food. I was like, that's another 90s memory. He was
I
big in
thought I
Soul
saw
Food.
him. I was like, was that him or
Yeah.
no?
Yep. So, and it has a lot of nostalgia from other NBA players. of course, I was, probably in diapers or, something like that. It was 1996. So, but still, a lot of nostalgia. So I want to know, what is your favorite scenes in the movie? You know, what was it? Was it like the Looney Tunes, the jokes, Michael Jordan? Because I thought Michael Jordan, he acted pretty well. Um, he had a lot of charisma, and there had a lot of good jokes. Even the aliens and the Looney Tunes were funny. What was your favorite part of the movie, or different parts?
Hmm. That's oh, just that scene where the kids were starting to notice um the ghosts or whatnot. Um like they start coming into the house. It was this scene where like the little girl and the brother is about to say something like, and then the mom was like, "Wait, what?" And the little girl was like, "Shh." That was funny. Um the basketball scenes were lit. Um yeah, I think when he was on the phone, like he was really a family man in the movie. So just those moments were dope, especially the basketball parts, because I like the graphics. Even till this day, you don't see graphics like that specifically. So it was really good.
Yeah, yeah. The cartoon, like, I think that cartoon or animation aged pretty well. I think it's aging pretty well because you actually have seen worser graphics now than back then. You would think that this Space Jam movie was created now compared to some other cartoons that are made now. And I think it's just, I guess it depends on the studio or something, or the graphics. Like some people use 3D, 2D, CGI, um, different effects like that. But I think this is pretty good for 1996 and now. I think it's still good now in 2025. I think so.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, my favorite scenes, I mean, I do like Daffy Duck. I do like Bugs Bunny and his confidence. I think I feel like the whole film in general is just very good. There wasn't a scene that I didn't feel like wasn't meant to be in the movie. Um, I do like, but I like, the different jokes. I like Bugs Bunny when he met the aliens. I like how he said, "No, I haven't seen anyone." And he described him exactly. And the aliens were pretty dumb, But then they caught on later. And I like the blue alien behind you because he's like kind of dumb, but it's kind of funny. Um, but even when the NBA players like Charles Barkley, I really like Charles Barkley because, he's on Inside the NBA. But Charles Barkley, Patrick Union, obviously Muggsy, um, Sean Bradley. I liked when their talent, whatever you want to call it, gifts, got taken and they were acting all funny. And a lot of NBA players did not want to play. They're like, what? What's going on with them? We don't want to play anymore. And then they even showed different scenes of some of the NBA players were going through different, like they went to a psychic and they went to therapy. I thought that was kind of very funny and, you know, that was very clever. So the way they switched back and forth to the real world to like Looney Tune world, I thought that was pretty good. And I also thought Lola and Bugs, I think that's really funny. Don't ever call me doll. I liked her basketball moves. Her basketball moves are the best. Everybody else really sucked. But I liked that Bugs was a leader, and also when they were drinking the water and they thought it was special, I like that. And it just shows you confidence goes a long way. I feel like it's sort of like a placebo like type of thing. Like they thought it was real special from Michael, but really it was just water. I like that. But yeah, I think every Looney Tune had their own parts, but I noticed like Googling a lot of the Looney Tunes, there was some Looney Tunes that were left out, and I was researching it while I was watching the movie. I said, oh, they're in the background and they have no lines. Oh, they must have never been popular. But, but yeah, I like, oh, the Twitty, the Tweety Bird. I really like her. But yeah, just the different jokes were probably my favorite, and of course the basketball scenes, and they always made it seem like, oh, Eric Jordan, he's walking on air. Basketball players called Michael Jordan Black Jesus, and every time you hear a story about LeBron or Allen Iverson, even Damian Leonard, they say it's something about him. When you first meet him, you're like in this trance and you feel like he's walking on water. Like, let's pump the brakes here. This is why he won 6 championships and he did 2 3-peats. If you think your opponent is just so unbeatable that, player, players in the 90s were calling him Black Jesus. No wonder you lost to him. No wonder you lost to him. You can eat Jesus. Like, come on now. I know it's just a nickname, but still, it's like, this is why he won 6. And he could have won more, but let's not get into that. But I also thought it was clever that they used Michael's real name, his real family, not real as in like the real people, but like their real names and stuff like that. I thought that was pretty clever. And I feel like in the video game, you said your favorite part was like with the kids and stuff. I feel like I don't think the kids were in the video game, but the dog was. I feel like you had to get like correct me if I'm wrong, people that played the game. I think you actually had to go to the house in the video game and get his lucky shorts. I think you did have to do that in the game. And I think you did have to encounter that dog. But I could be mistaken. I mean, it was in the 90s. Yeah, I don't know. But also, I would love to play that game again. Like, somebody needs to remaster it or something. Come on.
I was just
Uh,
gonna say, like the whole time I was watching the movie, I was like, "Isn't there a video game? Did I ever play it? I don't remember." But I would definitely play it again. I'm still waiting
mhm.
on 2K26. That's nothing to do with it. But I'm just saying. I'm not playing. I'm not paying for that pre-order. It's ridiculous. I'm just wait till the regular will come out. Uh, but I see some people have already gotten it and they're like showing it on YouTube. So I've been watching like how people have been gravitating toward it. Somebody was like, it's like the same game, but they
It's
said the shooting. I'm gonna send you a video. They said the shooting is different, and I did see like it doesn't like drag as much. It's more quick. I'm like, y'all should have been fixed that. You knew that for how many 2Ks? But anyway, I've been rocking with 2K25. Check me out, Road to William on Twitch. I'm finally on there. Me and Ashley need to do a live stream us playing a game. I don't know if you probably got 2K25, but I don't know if you still if you play online. I be online. I play in the rec. So that's how I be gaining. But anyway, that has nothing to do with them. But
yeah. Even if even if 2K collaborates with Space Jam, do it. And it can be a special mode. Um, go check out Cuz on Twitch. I do want to start getting back on there. I may not be dedicated though, to play every day, but I'll try to get back on there. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Um, do you have a favorite Monstar or a favorite Looney Tune?
My favorite Looney Tune is always probably gonna be Tasmanian Devil. He cleaned that motherfucking gym in shape for them to play. Okay, he's the foundation. So everybody's like, I ain't about to play in this nasty gym. Like, okay, bet. What else? Speedy, I forgot his name, but
Gonzalez.
the
Yeah.
bird, that's a good one. Bugs Bunny, I was like, I didn't know he played kind of like an antagonist. I don't know. He gave like he was step into the bad side. Ooh,
Really?
ooh, ooh. That's what he gave a little bit in the beginning. But then he realized there's someone more bigger and badder than me, which was when the ghost got a hold of that ball. It was over. I want to say something about that. That I took from the film for that is it took all of them to not only turn into those monsters, but it took them same monsters, the same vibe to kind of like come back. And so I think that also ties in with the togetherness. Like you got to work together to create and to break, you know, the evil or the whatever, the obstacles that come in your way. But you said something funny. The blue character actually was an interesting one to me because that one, he was shy and timid, and he looked kind of like a little smart guy. But then when he became big, he was like kind of dumbfounded a little bit. He was like, "What?" So I think that message to me showed like you could be big and tall and know nothing, you know. But if you're just yourself, you're enough, no matter if you're small. And I was like, that's a good message I took from that.
Hmm.
But yeah, that
Maybe.
ball was like what got everyone together, the basketball. A lot of times it's like, what's gonna bring everyone together? Well, it depends. It's not a monolith. Like it depends. In this movie, they focused on the ball. You know, everybody loved the game, and I like that it was a challenge for everybody. Bill Murray, hilarious. And he was like, I don't want to be in it. Like I'm good. Like a lot of comedic relief in this film. So yeah, definitely recommend it.
Yeah. A lot of good messages, teamwork. And also, at the end, the aliens realized, hey, we're bigger than, what's his name? Swackhammer. So they got rid of them because, they were sort of like slaves to him, you know? So it took, them stepping up to the boss to be like, no, you're not the boss of us anymore. We're not going to be slaves. Um, I think my favorite Looney Tune, I don't know if I have one. I just like a little bit of everybody. Daffy Duck, Porky the Pig, Lola, Tweety, everybody got their special thing. There's probably like I don't know what some of the purpose of some of the Looney Tunes are, but I'm pretty sure they got at least one power they can work with. But also the movie message is also about belief. You know, the aliens, they got, belief that they could take their boss, who wasn't even really that big, and the secret stuff. It's like really the secret stuff is believing. And Bugs, I feel like he's sort of like a leader as well, um, tricking everybody. But also when they were it might have been halftime and they were all beaten up and stuff, but then they got that burst of energy and boost and they started to believe in themselves again. Um, because they was at first they was like, do you got any more of that special stuff, that secret stuff? When it was really just water. Oops. But yeah, I feel like it's also about belief. So yeah, like family, you know, playing as a unit. Everybody got something special. They was passing the rock. It was doing some moves, passing the rock. There wasn't a one man wrecking crew. And of course, I like that the guys got their powers back at the end. Like, what a relief. Um, but
Oh, quick! I also noticed there was kind of a. It wasn't. I don't know if they're you know that would know the history more than me, but the NBA shut down because when they didn't know what was going on with the players, they did do a shutdown. It was like no, like the Lakers didn't want to play and all that. So I think I think like them saying something's not right, I'm not playing until something's figured out is a good way to say that's how they negotiate. And that's how you gotta play it even in life, you know. You guys came to see us, but if things aren't right, we're not playing. Just having the power in that. And also I saw like they had the girls playing in the basketball gym and he was playing with them. It reminded me like Juwanna Man when the girl schooled him and she was playing the she had the tricks and dribbles and all that. It was a small clip, but that was dope.
yeah, with Charles Barkley. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was Charles. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Or it was on the court. It was on the outside court.
Yeah. They were playing a little street ball and they saw him, but then they was like, nah, you just a lookalike because he wasn't like
Yeah.
his powers were gone. Oh, and but yeah, like you said, negotiating, that's a good point because even Bugs Bunny negotiated, because the aliens were like, we want to take your prisoner. And Bugs was like, you can't just do that. We got to do some type of challenge. You can't just take us. So he was negotiating and making up his own rules in a rule book that never existed. So, Bugs is like, a leader. And I do like how all the Looney Tunes gathered in this auditorium like you do in school. Like everybody come to the gym. So I thought that was funny. But and like the WNBA women, they're doing it, they're dealing with it now where they're working out at CBA and at the All-Star game, they was wearing shirts saying pay us what you owe us. And that was like, telling them, hey, pay us. Because they're negotiating now. But overall, I think it was great. They had a lot of different other cameos too. Larry Bird was in it. Vlade from the Lakers. Uh, of course, Bill Murray was good. Bill Murray was playing golf, and he was like, "Yo, I want to play." And it seems interesting that all the humans was like looking for Michael Jordan. So Bill Murray came in the end, and they're like adding more people. But that other guy, I don't know his name, but he followed. He's like big. Oh, Wayne Knight, and he played Stan. He was really desperate to find Michael and he came to the world. It's like, where is this hole at? I want to go one day. MJ stretched his arm out wide. I want to play, just for a day, then go back to who else? Ahmad Rashad was in it, Danny Ainge, Steve Kerr. Scottie Pippen, Derek Harper, AC Green, a lot of different people. And of course, shout out to Brandon Hammond from Soul Food for sure, for sure. Before we go, we got 2 minutes left. Before we go, anything you want to say to the peeps about Road to William, about, you know, any videos you want them to check out on your channel, any episodes that are coming up?
Be on the lookout. I'll drop y'all some things to look out for in the future. Frida, so it's some movies y'all should watch. Get prepared, to discuss with me. Frida is a good one. And also City of Men, if I'm not wrong. Is that right?
Hmm.
God of
It's
Men or something.
it seems familiar, like I've heard about it before. Hmm.
Around that realm. By the
Yeah.
time it come out, I'll have it together. But
Okay.
yeah, those are a few films that I want to dissect with the people. So be on the lookout for that. Road to William.
Okay. 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 And you know, a lot of different movie and TV reviews, of course. And oh, shout out to Patricia Heaton. She played in Everybody Loves Raymond in the middle. She was next to the aliens when they was, at the basketball game trying to steal powers. So I thought that was a nice cameo. Yeah, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me your favorite thing about Space Jam, and make sure you visit Road to William. Check out all the videos, and make sure you guys stay ballin' like MJ, fade away.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought he did pretty good in the movie.
You did.
Yeah, excellent. Excelente. All right, Space Jam, a new legacy with LeBron instead of MJ, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we're gonna compare the two, but before we do that, we're gonna, break, a new legacy down a little bit. But of course, we're going to talk about similarities, some differences. But they did this a little bit different. And I did like that they did do it a little bit different. They involved the video games, technology, the,
Mm-hmm.
the times. These are the times, video
Mm-hmm.
games. Um, they involved the kids a little bit more, which was cool too. And
Mm-hmm.
so LeBron has to save his son Dom, right?
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was kind of funny that they put Don Cheadle as like a villain, because we usually don't see him in that type of role. And I want your take on, like, did you like him in that role? I didn't really like him in that role, honestly, until he turned into like a video game type of basketball player. And then I was like, oh, he looks a little bit more like a villain. Um, and the name they gave him, Algorithm. I get it. Algorithm. I get it. I get it. But I was like, I don't know if I really like that name. But, you know, algorithm, let me just say, wow. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
Algorithm, AI, I get it. But, you know, LeBron has to save his son, Dom, or, everybody's going to be stuck in the game forever. So instead of like, because in the past, in the 1992 one, it was like Toon World, right? And, the Monsters World. Well, now this is like, you know, if you're into building video games, you know, coding, you know, if you've gone to MIT, I I'm not into that engineering type of thing, but people love technology and building things.
Mm-hmm.
So they're in, they're actually in like this. Warner Brothers, computer studio type thing where
Hmm.
every movie and film and character they have, you know,
I thought it was the
is
Backstreet Boys. Anyway, I'm
it,
old.
maybe
It's a
everybody, yeah. But you see Looney
in
Tunes are
sync.
back. Looney Tunes are back. All right. Oh, they should have did that. They should have did that. Looney Tunes are back. All right. And a
You
dance
got something
routine.
cooking in there. Something's
They
there
should have
cooking.
did that.
Stop
They
it.
should have did that.
It's cooking.
They should have did that. But
Incorporate their own. Like the Rugrats. They had Maya. Remember, it was like take me, or was that Aaliyah? What was that? What was that singing
no,
on that?
that was Maya.
Yes, I thought it was at first, but I feel like my Aaliyah was also on that soundtrack, right? No, Hmm? But yeah, it was Maya. That was a dope track, and that was exclusively for that. This is they need more soundtracks. I was been looking for soundtracks. When we watch these movies, sometimes it's just like you gotta make your own because people are not. It
They
ain't
don't
the
do soundtracks like back in the day, early
yeah.
2000s, 90s. They don't do that.
That hypes up the film too. Like,
A
oh,
lot of people don't do
what
that.
happened
They
to
just,
Christmas albums? Like, what? Like, we need
Brandy
all that.
got
Bring.
one
Oh, okay,
a couple
Brandy.
years ago, made one.
So
Hmm.
you said okay, but
Well, yeah,
yeah.
the Looney Tunes, Bugs, they weren't even in Toon World anymore. We're all scattered in different,
Mm,
you know, Warner
mm,
Brothers films, in The Matrix, right? Iron Giant, King Kong, and it's Harry Potter. And it was like, wow,
ooh.
okay. They had Rick and Morty. I never watched that
Oh
show.
yeah, me neither.
Um,
But that was funny. That
you
was a
know,
funny clip. Mhm.
it was even interesting. They had it on the sideline. I said, why
Yeah, I
on
was trying
earth?
to look for as many characters. I saw Mask. I gotta rewatch that.
Oh
That
yeah,
was a good
mask.
one.
But I
Scared the
thought,
shit
why?
out of me when I was a kid, but oh, sorry. Scared the you gotta put like a basketball boop, boop, like on Scary Movie 2.
But why is it in a kid? I don't get it. He wants the kids. They all float. Okay,
I'm
all
thirsty as
right.
hell.
Let's stop scaring the children. But so they definitely took their own, twist in this, gotta save your son or you're gonna be stuck in there for all eternity.
All
And
that
Looney Tunes.
eternity.
Oh, that's holes
Yep.
or
Eartha
eternity.
Kitt. Hmm.
Um, and so
Hmm.
they put their own technology in there, and
Hmm.
LeBron, he was acting, and
Yeah,
he was
pretty
acting
good.
very stern as a
Yeah, he was
father,
getting on
like,
my
hey,
nerves.
you
He was
gotta
getting on my
put
nerves
in
in the
this
movie.
work. You gotta put in this work. There ain't no time for games. You gotta put in this work. And I
I'm
thought,
like, oh my
well,
God.
maybe he wants to, video games are work too,
Yeah, it's a
People are
different
making
type.
careers
Yes.
out of design and
Right.
Twitch. And so, but
Yeah. If it wasn't for designers, the basketball wouldn't even be what it is. The sports wouldn't be what it is. You need designers to help
mm,
create the court, the ball,
that's
the
true.
the hype, the shirts, the merch, the mascots. That gotta be on paper first. Then you gotta put it on the screen.
It's not just basketball. You could be a basketball coach, a basketball trainer, you know, you don't just have to be a basketball player.
You
Um,
can be in the culture of it, the world of it.
right. Did you have a favorite part or scene in this new legacy movie? You know, they had a lot of different, you know, scenes that, very stick out. Were there some scenes that stuck out to you?
Yeah, one in particular was the Michael B. Jordan when they thought it was Michael Jordan. And but I like that because it was like he let him have his shine. Like it could have been him and that would have been fire. But it was like, no, but that's funny. But I liked how you gave him his own shine, LeBron his own shine. So that was probably one. And another one was when the granny, I forgot her name,
Granny.
her and Tweety Bird like this. Tweety was hilarious, but when Granny hopped in and versed Dame, I was like, yo, get him, because that's what he get for leaving. I know he had to leave, I get it, but get him. But I know this is old and this is old, but still. Anyway, but that was dope how they did Dame. I like the graphics. I like it all. I loved it all. This is a great movie. If you got kids, watch it. If you don't got kids and you like graphics and you like good movies, storylines, family films, this is definitely a good family film. Put it on any time of the year.
Did you have a favorite character? Um, you you said Taz for the first movie. Was there a favorite Looney Tune or Goon Squad, character that you like? Hmm. Hmm.
Oh. Pig, cause he could flow. He got a little rhyme to him. I said, okay, he got style points. I was like, okay, because at first I was really judging him. Like, bro, this better not be too court. I get it, it's a kid film, so you can't really go, but it better be subpar, okay? And I was like, okay, Pig, all right, better than Kids Bop to me. But I was like, yeah, that was a dope. But also, I liked Bugs Bunny in this one more because I feel like he was a little more chill. He wasn't a bit of a, I don't know. I didn't like the first one. I like the second Space Jam more than I like the first one, and that's
Ooh,
rare. I was thinking
wow.
about that today. I'm like, I actually like this better because it
Ooh, okay.
incorporates more of the family parenting, you see a little bit of like what marriage is like and what it's like raising kids, what it's like being in the spotlight. It had more layers to it, and so I think this was probably my favorite though. Yeah.
Oh, okay. This is what we want to discuss. We want to discuss and compare it and like in school, compare and contrast. But a lot of people liked the first one better, and the second one was getting bad reviews. And I heard that I guess some people said that the storyline went over some people's heads, or they didn't like all the Warner Brother worlds because they had a lot of different people. They had Wonder Woman. That one was nice with Lola
That's what
Bunny.
pissed him off.
Well,
It's misogyny.
well, it's a part of Warner Brothers. Batman, Superman. Who else they had? Uh, Matrix, Harry Potter. They had a lot of other. They had a lot of other people that I didn't know were a part of Warner Brothers, and I was like, I do understand why. I guess they said it was too commercialized. But I said the first one was sort of commercialized because Daffy's butt was on had WB on it. But I guess they felt it was too commercialized. Like, oh, you're in Warner Brothers Studio and here's everything we've created. But
They've been exposed.
I still think that they did a good job with the different worlds and how they put the different Looney Tunes in those different worlds, right? Like Granny was in the Matrix, and everybody was in different places. You know, uh, the Coyote, he was able to do some dynamite stuff. So I wouldn't say, yes, I think I like the first one more because it's more nostalgia, like I was a kid and that's what I remember it. But I still feel like both parties did a great job, one and two, because think about it. If you were a kid watching Space Jam 1, right? Now you probably have kids and you can show them the first one, and then the second one is more for like the LeBron era. Like you probably didn't grow up watching MJ, so there you go. LeBron, a lot of people say LeBron is their MJ because, you know, that was, the early 2000s, right? But there were some Looney Tunes that were left out, but I still feel like that's not bad idea either because there's so many Looney Tunes, you know, they got the popular ones. That's all that matters, really. Um, but I like the similarities and the differences. Like the opening scenes, I liked how they did. Oh, MJ was a kid, right? So they had LeBron as a kid. And then they did that whole movie montage of careers, LeBron's career, MJ's career. I like that part. And of course, my thing is if people want to make it LeBron versus MJ. That they're not going to win an Oscar, right? And I get it, the GOAT talk. But it's like, for me, I just want to appreciate the good players while they're here. But also, why is it always MJ versus LeBron? Why can't more players be added? You know,
And
I felt
also, like MJ, Michael Jordan don't even play no more. Like you could, if you want to say Steph, Giannis, a bunch of other people, but that's really Giannis the only one that counts. But it's just like these are the ones who's actually still playing. Michael Jordan wanna, he's like, can y'all buy more of my shoes? I don't care about that. So like, but same one, flight 90,000. And so it's like, okay, he don't want to keep being, but people want to do what they want to do. But I think this is a really good film. Like, I think it's better. I think because they gave a little more people more parts other than just LeBron. Like, if you want a LeBron film, go watch his film that's dedicated to his. It's a movie he has. He has documentaries. Go watch that. This is about Looney. This is about collaboration. This is new technology and how it's moving forward. It's damn near. Oh, sorry. It's darn near. Uh, I was about to compare it to like Wakanda, but more animated. You know what I mean? Like because they had an underworld. Okay, like what's the difference? This is just animated version. You upset? What's going on? People were
I do
people
feel
just
like you
want to
can
complain about
appreciate.
stuff.
Yeah, I feel like you can appreciate both movies for what they
Yeah,
are. One was made in the
it was
90s, one was
started.
made,
Yes.
and then
Mhm.
they're probably going to make another one in another 25 years. And,
And they
you know,
added WNBA to this one. I
oh,
don't.
yeah.
That's a highlight. I saw one of those players. I think her name is. Don't tell me. Diane Sarasi. Oh, um,
Diana Taurasi, you got it.
I was in yeah, Diana Taurasi. Yes. And some other players I probably don't recognize. But the spider one was dope. I feel like they added new characters. Like the other ones was what, the monsters or something. What was their name?
The Monstars.
Yeah, like and I saw they had a little cameo in there. I saw them. They was mad that
Yeah,
the
yeah. This
the villains lost. I was like,
They, they
It was
had a
like,
little
oh.
cameo. Oh,
That was funny. I like that.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And like sometimes you just need cameo. I like how they had the people in the back in the stands. That was and he was like, it's their fault. And they're like, what? We're not even playing. Like, I like Don Cheadle's role, algorithm, because if you keep diving into that, it's like when you see what you see on your algorithm, depending on what, everybody's on their phone now. So they played more into that. Maybe people didn't like being called out. That's what the generation is. A lot of technology is a lot of looking at your phone. That's how he was able to brainwash them, capture them, and put them there in the first place. He um represented a lot of the media you see out there, like the comments you see out there. Like at one point, Algie was talking to Dom, and he was like, Dom was like, my dad's like the greatest of all time, or whatever. And Algie's like, I don't know about that, because people always do this. Always a pushback. It's always a debate about it. And this movie, I think it tapped into the reality, the real world. And don't act like they probably ain't had these conversations at the crib for real. It felt a little bit more natural. They let people in a little bit, you know, like this is probably a conversation he's had with his wife before. And, this is probably a conversation he has with his son. Like, you don't think they've had conversations about striving to be better and the pressure of it all. But, it's not just about that. It's about being a family. So I don't know. I felt like it was more personal. Like it wasn't just about beat these people in basketball. It was like more than basketball, more than a game, which is a LeBron mantra.
Yeah, and go check out both of those reviews on my channel. Oh, yeah. You know, because LeBron has a real life movie, which I find it interesting. He has a documentary version and a like live action version. And I find it interesting because in that movie, I forgot. Oh, it's called Shooting Stars, right? I think. Yeah. Um, in that movie, Wood Harris is in it, I believe, and Wood Harris is also in Space Jam, too. Too, right? He plays the coach, so I like that.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It just shows
Great
you
actor.
projects. He plays a great coach in both, but yeah, I do think it's more personal. More of the kids and the wife are involved. Um, as far as the basketball players that was in there, I want to talk about that too because Giannis was going to be in it, but I think certain off-season requirements probably didn't let certain players be in
That would
there.
be a
But
dope film for them to do together. Even something outside of this. I think Giannis is trying to tap more into that film world as
well,
well.
he has so many documentaries. I don't know if you've seen the movie Rise. He has that movie about his family.
Yeah.
That's on Disney Plus if you guys want to watch that. And I did a review on it because I love Giannis. But the basketball players, the one that was Water and Fire, I really like that one a lot. That was Clay Thompson. And he plays for the Warriors, but now he plays for the Mavs. And the of course, Dame time. I like how they added him at the end and he could slow down time and stuff like that. That was nice. Um, who was the WNBA players were Diana Taurasi, obviously. I like how because they call her the White Mamba, so that's why she was a snake. Um,
Nice. That's why I have you
and
around. I don't know nothing about that.
yeah, Kobe Bryant is the Black Mamba. And
I know that.
Whoa, I'm just saying.
But I didn't know that she was called the White Mama. That's lit.
Um,
Everybody
Anthony
did really good.
Davis, huh?
Oh, okay. I was wondering because his
He,
eyebrows. I'm like,
yeah,
how they make fun of
the
somebody? Damn.
unibrow. I find it interesting. I have to go back and see because he used to play for the New Orleans Pelicans now, and then he plays for the Lakers, and then now he's with the Mavs. I have to go back and see when this was filmed, if he was still on the Pelicans.
2021.
Uh, yeah, so, oh, yeah, he wasn't with the Pelicans because the next year, the following year, the Lakers won a championship. But the other WNBA player was she plays for the Seattle Storm, but she used to play for the LA Sparks. Aneka Agumake. Her sister is she works for ESPN, so maybe you heard of Agumake, the last name. They're Nigerian. I don't know why they made her a spider, but I did like it. And I like how her webs was saying loser. I think maybe had her as a spider because women spiders do eat their prey. That's all I know. But she does like multiple things on the court, and she had multiple legs like a spider. So maybe that's it. I don't know. But
But I found it funny, Dom, when he broke her ankles. I'm like, damn, he broke 8 ankles.
I didn't realize that. Uh,
They got 6.
I have a question. Which goon, which goon player would you like? You've seen some of their powers. Which one would you want? I would be Clay because he's fire and water. I'm on fire. Yeah. Um, but also, what is your take from this movie? Like, if you could say one word about it or a phrase about it, what would your take be?
Um, I'm gonna say the spider. Spider was a dope ad. The white snake though was lit as well. I think I just like that all of them were new characters. Keep introducing new characters like that, new villains um and then the word I have would be destiny because I think like at some point they were gonna have to LeBron and Dom were gonna have to come to this um conversation again. Like you have to let them be like in the movie ATL, like Lauren London's character. What was her name in that movie? Anyway, but y'all know what I'm talking about. And her father didn't want her to go to Spelman and stuff like but at the end he had to listen to her and what she wanted. I felt like that reminded me of that a little bit in this film. Um and that the message I got from it was don't give in to doubt because Dom's family was well not his mother or his brother, but his dad basically wasn't supporting him the way he needed. And so that's why it was easy for Algie to kind of come to him and convince him that, oh, you are great, like he was, but he saw what he lacked and he was there for that. But it wasn't for the intentions was false. You know, he wasn't really trying to be there. He was stealing his information. He just wanted to have his own gain. And I thought his sidekick was gonna give him like
hell at one point, like, hey, you shouldn't do that. Like she was on board too. I was like, oh, okay, that's different. But that was my take on it. Don't give in to doubt. Um, because even though all that happened, his information got took, all that. Dom still didn't give up. He decided to fight with his father. And so he eventually saw the truth. And so yeah, just don't give up, don't give in, because you have the power within. Oh yeah.
Funny. That's hilarious. Um, that's good expressions. Um, I think it's all about just, doing you, being yourself because he had to let Dom do what he wanted to do. Like why can't he do both? Also, you know, I'm glad that he let him go to the, camp, the design camp, game design. If that's where his passion is, he already got another son. All right. Oh, I need both of my sons to play. No, no, you don't. But anyway, also, even the Looney Tunes were losing because they weren't being themselves. They weren't playing their style of ball. And so when LeBron let them, be loose, be loony, you know, then it worked out. Also, I oh, we have 2 minutes, but I the music in the 90s one was very, very good. Like R. Kelly ruined it. I Believe I Could Fly is a classic, but he ruined it. He, he ruined it. But
I
even
skipped
Fly,
those parts. Anytime I heard that song, I just skipped it. I'm gonna keep it above. I was like, I'm not. Mm,
even
mm.
fly like an eagle in the sea. Fly like, right? But I will say this. The Space Jam soundtrack for A New Legacy is really good. Does it match to the 90s standards? I don't know. But I like, I do really like the New Legacy soundtrack because they have SZA on there, but they also have Dame Time, obviously. They have Kurt Franklin with, is it the baby or little baby? Some baby. Um,
Little
and
baby, I like that Kirk Franklin song. That was nice.
We Win, that's pretty good. And they also have like, his name is Saint John, but I thought the music for
I've
both of
heard
the
of his
movies were good.
songs before. St. John
Yeah.
is dope.
So overall, I think it's okay to like one more than the other. I like them. I would give them both A's to be honest, but for some reason, Space Jam 2 got bad reviews. Um, but I think the second go around was good too. Seeing it for a second time. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe, and go to the road to William and stay ballin'.